There should be a level playing field. I think a lot of politicians have said that. They do have an unfair advantage, I find, Uber, because they're not regulated. They're not taxed the same way. So I would say something needs to be done to make it a little bit more level playing field. But at the same time, the taxis have to step up with technology, more competitive pricing.
Like, taxis are extortion. It's expensive. It really is. Like, if you want to take an Uber from downtown, let's say to like Montreal East, Uber all the way, it's like $20, $30. A taxi would be like 40 or 50. Not everybody's rolling in dough like that.
Je connais toute la ville. Moi, après avoir fait mes études, j'étais à l'école et à un moment donné, j'avais pas de prêts et bourses, il fallait survenir. J'avais déjà un enfant, le deuxième est arrivé, et il fallait survenir à une famille de 4 personnes et puis je savais pas quoi faire. Je pouvais plus continuer parce que avec mes études, je pouvais pas me payer les études, donc il fallait travailler. J'ai un copain qui m'a dit, mais écoute, toi tu connais la ville, tu as une auto, tu sais conduire, mais tu peux faire du taxi. J'ai essayé, j'ai trouvé mon gagne-pain là-dessus et puis je me suis accroché jusque-là. Pour élever d'abord les enfants, donc je suis resté jusque-là.
The taxi police are looking for, yeah, so that's how it works, and I just go like that. I can accept it, and boom. And then if I want to start the trip, I slide it, and then to end the trip, I do the same thing, like once we get to our destination. Well, Uber is super flexible. It allows me to earn a full-time salary, what I consider to be a full-time salary, working, like half the hours you normally would. So I work about 25 to 30 hours a week, and my gross income is between $600 and $700. Well, I understand their plight, so to speak, for a little bit, but then I remember we live in a capitalist society, which is like open to competition, and unfortunately the cab industry here in Montreal, they didn't innovate their service.
On n'est pas contre la technologie. On veut le renouvellement de notre industrie. On est en train de collaborer avec le bureau de taxi, avec le ministère du Transport, avec le ministère du Revenu. On est là. On travaille. Le revenu, jusqu'à date, il n'a pas reçu aucun chèque de la compagnie Uber.
Le gouvernement?
Le gouvernement. Ni TPS TVQ, ni d'impôts, ni rien. Là. Ça fait 1 an et demi qu'il travaille. Mais le stratagème, tout le monde, on le connaisse. C'est que pour lui, il n'est pas une compagnie ici, il ne fait pas d'argent ici. C'est moi, toi, toute personne qui paye, payeur de taxes, on est perdant là-dedans. Et ça affecte nos services, parce que nous, on est dans un pays qu'on paye des taxes au gouvernement, et le gouvernement gère ces taxes pour qu'il nous donne des services.
Well, lowering rates would be great for passengers first, and obviously if there's if the rates are too low that some taxi drivers can't compete, well, it's just as the same as every other sector in the economy. Basically, some are going to get out and the wages are going to increase a little bit. So it's not a problem. The market should allocate drivers and passengers at the right rate, at the right price. This is not a problem in any industries. So why the taxi drivers, which is basically a lobby group, can have this kind of advantage or privilege from the government? The Australian model is kind of interesting because it's a temporary tax, $1 per fare, Uber drivers or traditional taxi, and after 5, 7, 8 years, we've paid back the licenses, and we can now have a more, not completely deregulated, but a less regulated system.
Everything is moving to this sort of like share economy and request-based services. So I don't know if you can think of anything that you can go buy at the store. Eventually, Uber is going to bring it to your doorstep. Kind of like the whole Amazon drone thing. I think that's where this world is shifting towards, sort of like that sort of mentality that you can have everything on demand. Yeah, I think Uber is going to be a huge part of it.
On va vous imposer UberX. Si nous impose UberX, ben je vous dis une chose. Dans les lois de transport par taxi, le chauffeur qui a un dossier criminel, il ne peut pas travailler et il perd son permis de taxi. Si le gouvernement va venir et va dire au chauffeur, c'est moi qui va te faire perdre le permis de taxi, bah attendez-vous que le chauffeur fasse quelque chose. Parce que c'est son futur, c'est le futur de sa famille. Donc, est-ce que pensez-vous que le chauffeur va l'accepter?